Hello everyone again. Um, been doing some painting here, but I decided let me do another video talking about life. Let's just talk about life. If you read the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, it says that, "For what man knows the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of God knows no man but the Spirit of God." So you can never know what happens in another man's heart except the Lord reveals it, or except the man reveals it in truth. So what happens is that this life is full of fake people, and not every fake person is really fake out of their own desire, Sometimes to some it's a struggle, They fear, they have insecurities. But still, nevertheless, we can't use that as an excuse, Because being true and being real only helps you that does it. Now, for the Christian, if you really want to see the hand of God move in your life, you have to be a truthful person. You don't have to worry or care about what people will think, what so and so will think of you. That's why I'm not saying everyone that. That's why I do these videos direct. I can edit them. I have the software, I have the skill, I have all that. But I decided not to do that. I'm like, hey, let me be straight with these people. Let me be truthful with you people. Let me share my truth with you. One thing I have learned in life, and this I have learned recently. First of all, there's a saying in my local tongue that goes, to travel is to see, to return is to tell. To travel is to see, to return is to tell. It's an African saying, a proverb or something like that. I've learned that to be true. For the most part, before you complain about life that, hey, I'm struggling. You might look at life and you're like, hey, I'm struggling. I'm broke. I'm poor. I lack this, I lack that. It is until you move to another place and see the struggles of people living in those areas that you start appreciating your own situation, That it goes for both sides. You might think that you have seen it all. You have the money, you have the wealth, the skills. It is until you struggle and you find people who really have money, people who really have wealth, that you will get humbled. The only thing you can do in this life is be humble and open up yourself to learn. That is when we can get the best out of this life. I have seen something that taught me a great deal recently. In marriage, meet people that complain about their spouses. But hey man, my husband does this, my wife does this and that happens. But they forget that there's two sides of a coin. That you look more to one side of the coin and reject and ignore the other. The same person you're complaining about also has complaints about you. And I've learned this, that before you complain about your own life, before you complain about the friends you have, the husband you have, the wife you have, the car you have, the house you have, the life you have, travel, move the world, move places, move around your neighborhood, make friends. You will know what they go through. You will be appreciative of what you have. One time I was walking in town back in Uganda, and I found this sick guy, on the street. I don't know what was going on with that guy, but he didn't really look good at all. Like, the eyelid, it was flipped and swollen, and there was zits in there. Oh my god, and there was pus. I saw this, I was like, oh my god, what is going on with this guy? So a part of me was like, I want to know what's going on with this guy. But another part of me said, do not desire to know what is going on with his life. Because if you really want to know, you will know. And if you know what I mean, you get it. Sometimes you want to know that what went wrong in like, let's say it's a celebrity that committed suicide, and they seem like they had everything. They had the money, they had the fame, they had everything that many people desire. And it just so happens that they commit suicide. One morning, you see them on CNN that they committed suicide. You ask yourself, what went wrong? Because this person had everything. And you start judging within yourself. You're like, hey, if I had all that money, I would not behave like them. I would never behave like them. I would never even go out clubbing. I would help the world. Never say that. You do not know their story. The more you keep yourself in that rigid thinking, God will give you up to life, and life situations will lead you to that same place, and trust me, you will never do any better. So I saw that guy, and the only thing I could think of, I'm like, Lord, thank you so much that I am not sick. I do not have whatever that guy is suffering from. He was just there. He looked homeless. He was wearing rags and all that. I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to think. The first thing that came to me was, thank you, Lord. Because I don't know his story. Maybe someone beat him up, and I don't know. Maybe someone, I don't know, peed on his eye or something. He got some infection. Like, you can never know what really happened, So I see, man, this life can really be sad, but we all have to deal with it. We all have to deal with it, and those that really let God into their lives, they will really not struggle as those that, take everything into their own hands. The people that I've interacted with, in life, and they think they are good, and they complain about others, and others complain about them. But then I look at them and I'm like, you are not perfect. In your life, you do this and that. You see things this way and that way. And here you are expecting everything else to go well for you, yet you are not doing. There's no guarantee that if you do good will be done back to you. But the thing is, if you do good, one guarantee you have the Lord's backing. if you follow God and do His will, you'll have His backing all the time of your life. This is one thing that we never understand. And it's true that, we get tempted, we get tried and all this. But we need not to faint and give up. So one thing that really helped me appreciate, for example, my wife, I looked at other wives and how they speak back to their husbands, how they treat their husband, and I'm like, whoa, speak to your husband like that? I mean, I use everything else to make my life, to help me get my life in order to stay with God, We have to use everything around us. We can't just leave anything. There's a lot to learn from people around us. Sometimes I see men that don't have women, that don't have anyone. Their relationships never work out. They have broken marriages. Women. I'm like, look at the way they behave. This is how you talk to people, and what do you expect to happen, We all get tempted to speak back to our spouses or to people around us, even bosses we have at work. We're tempted to, just get up and we don't do it. Before you speak evil of that situation that you're in, before you condemn yourself, before you feel you're so broken, look at other people's lives. It might encourage you. There's people that somewhere around the world, even in your neighborhood, there's someone that hasn't eaten food in the past 2 or 3 days, and that problem is food. And for you, the problem might be getting a new house when you already have a house, and that's all that's stressing you. For them, what's stressing them is getting their next meal. Someone else, what's stressing them is their health. It happens to us all in so many or different measures. But if we take time and look, and you see, the thing is, whatever struggle you have, if you surrender it to God, He will handle it. Now, this seems like a statement so many people have heard, and they're like, we're tired. Is God going to just jump out of the heavens and make the situation right? Well, He might. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but He might. He might not, and instead use people around. He might instead use people around. So the thing is, you have to take your time, involve yourself in life, because the hardest thing in life is to involve people in your life. When you're walking alone, you're walking at your own terms. You have no boss, you have no one to instruct you, you have no one to really challenge you. And now when you get friends, when you get a job, when you are employed, you work for someone else, they tell you everything to do. They can most times even abuse their right over you. When you get married, that you're no longer walking alone with someone else. When you get kids now, you can't behave like you do not have children. Like, life is about growing. It's about challenges. We can't sit down and start crying about challenges all the time. We won't grow. These challenges come in so many ways. Some people can be haunted by demons, like in this literal sense that you can't sleep. So find out what's the solution to this. The solution is Christ. The solution to everything is Christ. I'll tell you that. The more you keep doubting Him, the more He won't work for you. God bless you.